How would me and Liam do it then? Because I don't have an egg, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any eggs. It's just, ooh. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, hello, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Alexis Blake. I am a transgender woman and I share my life, stories and opinions on social media, and don't look at my broken nail. So in today's video, I can't breathe again, I need to stop buying these kind of tops, but that's not what we're going to talk about. So in today's video, we're going to react to some trans related TikToks. There's going to be a couple of names we've heard and seen before. I don't need to come across like I'm coming after these individuals. I really don't want that. And I'm really not trying to. But they just keep doing stuff that me off, so I can't help myself. And I also want to, how do I say it, when they're saying things and I'm going through the comment section and it's really negative towards trans women, I want to put my sort of ideology onto it and say maybe I don't agree with it, and they are being a bit stupid. Anyway, we're going to react to some Seiter, our fave. We're going to react to some Lili Tino, our fave, but we have one good video at the end. I'd say not good, but it's really interesting and enlightening, I would say. So that's a nice one as well. We're going to try and mix in some nice stuff every now and again. So if you're interested in watching a trans woman react to other trans women, let's just dive right in. So if you don't know who Seiter is, where do I begin? Seiter was on The Bachelorette. They didn't do very well on it, and then they got kicked off, and then they've built a social media following ever since. In the last sort of 3-4 months, have come out as transgender, as a transgender woman. Said things like, I'm not getting rid of my body hair, I'm going to keep short hair, I'm keeping the beard, I'm not going to necessarily medically transition, all this really outrageous stuff to not paint trans women in a very good light. And it's all the very stereotypical things that don't paint trans women in a good light. At first, I said, this is either a very confused trans woman or it's a man just trolling trans women, basically. And this video has confirmed without a shadow of a doubt to me that this is a man who is trolling trans women. Do I agree with the trolling? No, in one way, because what the trolling does with a platform of almost 1 million followers on Instagram, by trolling the outrageous trans people, which I don't agree with. So the stuff he's saying, I'm like, well, yeah, it's stupid when people say stuff like that, and I'm agreeing in that aspect. But it does give anti-trans people a space to say bad things about all trans people, and that's where my issue is, if that makes sense. But we're just gonna watch this video and you'll see what I mean. Okay.
Hey everyone! So I want to talk today about the elephant in the room that women don't like talking about, but we all think about: having a bulge.
Okay, this is why I know this is an account that is just taking the pee out of trans women. Women don't think about the issue of having a bulge because generally women don't have a bulge. Women have vaginas, and trans women, if they don't get the surgery or before they get the surgery, have a bulge. So it's very, very different. It's clearly poking fun, and it's coming from this sort of woke ideology that anyone can say that they're a woman, and doesn't matter what gender you're born as, what sex you're born as, sorry. It doesn't matter what you've got downstairs. It doesn't matter about transition. If you're a woman, if you say I'm a woman, you're a woman, and it's not the case, and I don't believe that at all. And if any of you guys have watched me for a long time, you know I don't agree with that. But I think he is reinforcing that narrative that anyone can be a woman and it's a joke. And I understand that aspect of it. That's the thing. So yes, he's trolling all trans women. And if you go through the comment section, it's not just this is a great social experiment, this is interesting. It's really tearing into trans women, and that's where the problem is a little bit for me. But it's clearly a man who's getting sick of the crazy trans people that we do see online. Less and less I've noticed recently, unless it's just me. Let me know in the comments below. I feel like in this last sort of 2 months, the outrageous trans videos are being misgendered. I think it's decreasing. I think that trend is coming to an end, which is really, really good, because it means that trans people won't be painted in a bad light as much. Anyway, let's watch some more.
Having a bulge doesn't magically make you a man. Having a bulge doesn't negate your womanhood. A lot of us women still have our bits and pieces, and that's okay. So I think we really need to start changing the language and discourse around this issue, and start normalizing it. Bye everyone!
I'm going to go back to the basic point I've made quite a lot, and if I'm coming across sassy, I apologize. I'm filming this on a Friday and I've been at work all week and I'm really tired. So like my patience is a little bit thin. I've had one of those weeks. My big girl job, I call it. But back to the video. We'll never normalize women having bulges because women don't have bulges. Trans women may have a bulge and men have bulges. So biological men, so trans women, biological man, have a bulge. So again, I feel like I'm almost, it's like painting by numbers for like a 4-year-old at this point with him. Like it's really basic and I get where he's coming from. Annoyingly, that's the most frustrating thing. But I don't agree with the way that he's going about it because like I said about 4 times already, it's not a good look for trans women. And if people think that this is a genuine trans person, because there was a brief point when I first came across his account that I thought it was serious. Oh my gosh, that's such a bad thing for the trans community. Do you know what I mean? Me as a trans woman, and a lot of my social media, I look at other trans people and their content and I talk about it with you guys. For me to like review his channel and watch quite a lot of his videos, to not click immediately that it wasn't a trans woman, scary. Anyway, we're gonna leave Josh Seiter there. I'm not going to return. I'm trying not going to return unless they do something ridiculous, which I think we've gone past the point of that anyway now. We're just going to put that one to bed. We're going to leave it to one side and we're going to move on to the next one. Our best friend, Lili Tino. Again, I feel like a broken record with Lili. And it's not that I have anything against this individual and I don't want to seem like I'm coming after them, but in the videos that I keep seeing, they keep just popping up on my pages. It's like social media knows how to get me. These videos will come up and I'll just sit there and I'll just be like, frustrated as heck at what they're saying and how they're saying it. And I think what's bothering me more and more now with Lili is that I'm realising the more I watch the content, it is really to go viral. They might believe in what they're doing a little bit, but the main point of the videos, the concept of the videos, why they are creating the individual videos, which we'll watch one in a second, they're making them to be controversial and to go viral and to earn money, effectively, is what I personally believe. But we're going to watch a video and I'll let you guys have a little conversation in the comments if you would like. Again, let's try and keep it as nice as possible, but let's watch it.
Trans women getting pregnant is not as far off as you'd think. In the past 10 years, 50 babies have been born from a uterus transplant.
From biological women. That's the thing. A uterus transplant on a trans woman has never been done successfully. One of the earliest cases of one of the first trans women to medically transition, I can't remember her name right now, sorry. What was her name? No, it's gone. It's what the film The Danish Girl is based on. She had a uterine transplant and died because the body rejected it. Because a male body, because that's what it effectively is, a male body cannot handle it. And again, a trans woman stood there with a baby bump saying trans women can nearly get pregnant. Of course, that is gonna go viral. It really would. If anyone did that who is trans, it would go viral because it's a very hot topic. It's very controversial. It rubs people the wrong way. And this video has had, how many views has it had? Let's have a little nosy. Okay, this video that we're in the middle of right now, 4.3 million views. Says it all right there. Anyway, back to the video.
From a uterus transplant. How this works is a person with a damaged or missing uterus gets a new uterus. Then they get pregnant, then they give birth to a child via C-section. The implanted uterus is then removed so that the person doesn't need to be on anti-rejection meds for the rest of their life.
It's giving two things here. It's giving mansplaining, real mansplaining, and it's giving misogyny. And going back to me, and I will always hold myself accountable, as a man, absolutely was misogynistic. I know I was. And I hate admitting that. I hate it so much, but it is so true that I was a misogynistic man. Not crazy, not like that, not like that. But I know I had misogyny in me and the mansplaining aspect of it. And that's something that I never experienced before until transition. And when I meet men in the world who maybe don't know I'm trans and getting mansplained to, when you're spoken to like a child and to have someone break it down so basic when you're like, I am capable, I do understand things, so thank you. But that is, do you know what I mean? And it's really hard to respect a trans woman and see them as the woman they want to be if they're going to be misogynistic and to mansplain things, because that is two very strong, inherently male characteristics for a person to have and display. And going back to, like I said myself, with the misogyny I had, even when I started my transition, I probably still had some misogyny. It's just something you have to really let go of, because from the women that inspire me, like my mum, my sister, my friends, the women I work with, like strong, independent women that I look up to and I try and aspire to be more and more like within my transition and like become, I guess. They don't act like that. No woman I know acts like that. No woman I know talks like that. No woman I know explains things like that. Or unless I just don't know any women like that, I don't know. But it's not the best look, really.
Their life. So far, these implants have only been attempted on cis women, but there's nothing that says it couldn't work on a trans woman. After all, my hormone levels are pretty similar to a cisgender woman.
Our hormone levels as trans women are literally there by taking pills. It can be measured similar, but it's still so different to a biological woman who has a body that produces estrogen, whereas our body produces testosterone. We have the blockers to stop that and then the estrogen put in. It's different, and it's blasé statements like that that kind of bug me a little bit, because it's making it seem like women and trans women are the same. We've got the same hormones. No, we don't. We have estrogen. That's about the only similarity. But when you actually break it down into the science of it, which I'm not a scientist, maybe I should talk to a scientist about it. That'd be really interesting in a video. If anyone knows any scientists, let me know. It's different. It's just different. And to make those parallels, it's again a little bit frustrating.
So why not? The main thing in the way is that the science is new, so there aren't enough surgeons out there to do the testing. So it's less about if we can do it and more about when we can do it. Imagine a trans woman using her own DNA along with her partner's egg to create life. Wouldn't that be incredible? Some researchers think...
How would me and Liam do it then? Because I don't have an egg, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any eggs. Sorry. Oh, again, it's just... Ooh. Also, being someone who I do want children one day, and we're going to adopt, if you didn't know. One of the most heartbreaking things for me personally, and when I've read your comments about not being able to have biological children, and I would love nothing more to be able to carry children, but obviously I can't, I'm a trans woman. It really bugs me that she is talking so lightly about this topic of just getting a uterus transplant and then you can have kids. I'm like, but it's a really incredibly risky, dangerous surgery. When it does start to happen, and if it starts to happen and start to do it, you're putting yourself at risk, you're putting your baby at risk, and then you have to have the surgery again to remove it because your body will reject it, which is more risk. And again, the money on top of that, how much would it cost to have this surgery? And there's so many kids in the world that need a home. And that's where my mind goes with it. And you're putting your body through this enormous amount of stress when you've already transitioned or transitioning, which your body goes through a lot of stress with the surgery and hormones. Some things aren't meant to be. I'm not meant to have biological children, and I love our adopted children exactly the same. It's so weird. Sorry, I just had a really weird thought. Do you know, like when your intrusive thought comes into your head? I just have a thought of like, in 15 years, if I'm still making videos, but what if they watch my old video and I'm talking about adopting, and then they know that obviously they're going to be adopted and they watch it back? That's so trippy. Oh, that's so weird. That freaked me out a bit. I don't like that. Anyway, I can't watch any more of Lili. Basically, she just talks more like that, and that's that. But yeah, over 4 million views of that. But the thing is, again, I've said this before about Lili. When you go into the comment section on the TikTok, 25,000 likes, vile comment about her. You're a man, you're a sir. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. You need to be locked up. Awful stuff. And I'm just thinking, maybe if all of those people are saying these things about you, which are very harsh, I'll be honest, but if all of those people are saying these bad things, maybe it's time to look and reflect, I think is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to try and leave Lili at this point as well. I've spoken about Lili about 3 times now on here, and I'm kind of over it. This video did bother me because it struck a nerve with me about not having kids. So I'm going to leave that one there. And then we're going to move on to one more positive one. So let's do it.
Define woman. Go. Please, one of you.
A person who their internal idea of what they are is a woman.
Terrible definition. Coming from a lesbian, that destroys the very concept of our sexual orientation. Just saying that it's an idea.
Why?
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 Because you can't be connected and sexually attracted to somebody's brain.
Well, there you go. That's the thing as well. Do you know what? It's one of the most like spicy questions to ask someone, what is the woman? And everyone reacts so different. If you're asking me, adult human female. That's simple to me. But I love her so much. She's recently messaged me on Instagram and we're following each other. It's really cool. But I just love the way that she's shut the situation down. And because it's coming from a place of her own experience as being a lesbian, and to have that experience and her sexuality, her sexual orientation to be null and void effectively because of that definition. It's like a lot of the stuff with everything to do with this gender aspect that we see going on. Sorry, I'm jumping around here, but I will get to the point. With all the gender stuff going on at the minute, like a lot of I think it's calming down now, but when they were trying to neutralize all terms to they, and especially around women, breastfeeding, pregnancy, all those terminologies like birther and stuff and womb carrier. Ooh. When all of those came in, I think people didn't realize that by being inclusive, and like that person in the video was trying to say, a woman is someone who feels like it on the inside. To try and be inclusive, you almost wipe away someone else's existence in the process of doing it. So you are excluding another group of people. So for instance, in this, they're trying to be inclusive of trans women effectively. That's the only group, yeah. So trans women, which is less than 0.05% of the population. They're trying to include trans women in that. But then they're excluding a lot of women in that and lesbian females in that as well. So I think that's a bit of the problem. I think more and more people are waking up to it now. Whenever I have conversations with women, it always starts the same. I don't want to offend. That's what all women say to me. And it's so frustrating because all the women always say to me, when like so many people say to me, I don't want to offend or upset or be called transphobic, but it's okay to express how you feel. And if it's impacting your life, like this stuff, it's impacting my life. That's why I feel like I have the right to talk about it. And if you don't like terminology, speak up on it. That's how change happens. And I think for a long time, women were just sort of like, oh, here we go again. But it's getting to a point now where women are kind of just like, no, just no. And I love that. I think that's great. And it's good to have that healthy conversation so we can find where we can be with all these different little aspects, the wordings and the terminologies to make everyone feel good, or as many people feel good as possible. That's the important thing. But I think she's fab. I've seen some of her content before. She's very straight to the point, which I love. She's very direct, which I absolutely love. And she says her opinion, which again, I absolutely love. We're gonna call it there. I know this video has just been a bit patchy of bits and bobs, but I do want to say broken nail. That's not what I want to say. I keep thinking about it every time I feel it moving. I should have just had this hand out for the whole video. Also, one more thing before we go. I did mention it earlier, but what I would be really interested to know in the comments, which I do read by the way, and I reply to as many as I can. Do you think there is less, let me rewind. On social media for quite a long time, we've seen like misgendering videos screaming. You remember the Starbucks video where the trans woman was getting misgendered and she's like screaming at the woman to get out, and then you've got these non-binary people screaming at people, this is my identity, and all the crazy, outrageous trans and non-binary videos that we've seen over the last sort of couple of years. Do we think they're, dare I say it, I don't want to like jinx it, but do we think they're like calming? Like I feel like personally for me, I might be wrong, maybe my algorithms are realising that they're just pushing them away from me, but are they calming down now? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you seeing less and less of them? Hopefully you are. Anyway, that is me done. If you do like this kind of content and enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe and click that notification bell. It really helps and it's lovely when people come back. I really, really do appreciate it. We are growing so much now, like 70,000 subscribers. And I'm like, why you click that button? But thank you. I honestly appreciate it so much. So again, thank you. And I will see you in the next one. It'll probably be a podcast with my fiance Liam as well. We have lots of videos together. If you're interested, go and check them out. Have a lovely week, everyone. Oh, before I go, in case anyone asks, one more thing, just in case, the lip combination is MAC Viva Glam in shade Viva Equality, and the lip gloss on top is a Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Rust. Both of them together, absolute love. Right, okay, bye.